morning. Good morning. This morning I want to try to make my life on YouTube in English. I'm not quite sure if that will work. Uh, uh, yeah, I have many friends in Tanzania, and that's the reason why I think about doing now and then a live event in English, because I think that they would be interested to hear my thoughts about medicine, about uh, psychotherapy, about life, about this the sense of life. Of course, some of them are bound in a traditional way, but I'm not quite sure if it will work. At the moment, I'm a little astonished that YouTube does not have any of my followers. Somebody is here. Hello, good morning. This time I will do my live event in English, because I want to experiment if this also works. If not, I will go back to German. So when you are here, it would be nice if you could answer if it's a good idea. If you perhaps like this experiment, if you want to participate in this way. And in the last weeks, I had a lot of fun on YouTube. It was in German, of course, and I had at the same time I also used TikTok, but this morning I wanted just to try how it works if I do it in English. I think most of my followers will be good enough in English so that we could also speak about the same subjects in English. But of course, if I do it only on YouTube, I'm dependent on your questions. If I'm doing it on both channels, on TikTok there are always enough questions, so it's enough to speak about. In the last weeks, I was occupied a lot with Esther Perel, in Belgium living a woman who is the most famous couple therapist in the world. Not only romantic couples, but also couples who are working together, co-workers in companies and things like that. So I'm really fascinated about her ideas. But I would really ask you to tell me if it's possible to understand me, and if the four of you who are there at the moment, if you are interested in any special thing about which I should speak. I tell it again. The reason why I do it in English today is because I want to experiment about it, and because I'm really interested to build up an English tradition. Probably it would be good to have one day in the week one date in the week where I always speak English. Probably it could be this time and on Tuesday morning. So I could tell my English speaking friends, especially those people from Tanzania, and also probably the ones from India whom I know, if they are if it would be a good time for them. Otherwise, probably I will try the same thing also in the evening. Yeah. By the way, my English channels are much older than my German ones. When I began with social media activities, I began in English. And yeah, but I would be really happy if you tell me if you can understand me, if it's okay in English, and also if you would ask me questions, because yeah, it's really a new experiment for me, and I'm not really sure if it will work in this way. I tried it on on my English channel, but nobody came there because my English channel is so small. So I think YouTube doesn't play it out to people. So I tried this in my normal channel here, and I can see that there are some people here. Yeah, but up to now there are no questions. So and I have the impression yeah, I'm not sure how it comes, but as you can see, I'm here like normally on the place here. Where can you see here? Here's my horse, and and it's happy that it can eat fresh grass, which is in this time of the year it's not so, and it's very healthy for the horse, not only just to eat hay and it gets it gets some stronger food. I'm not sure the German word Hafer. I'm not really sure what it means in English. Well, one of the main things in my it's about my channel is about health, and last not least about healthy food. What I ate this morning is I ate 2 eggs, I ate some nuts, some walnuts, I ate some apples. That's quite often I have this kind of breakfast. I was experimenting in the last year about healthy food, and I found out that when I eat oats in the morning, like I did for many years, my blood sugar is not very flat. It didn't go into a problematic direction. It was about 130, 140 milligram, and went down quite fast. So you couldn't say it's dangerous what I'm doing. But a good friend of mine had a heart attack in just 10 days ago, and he is a very sportive man. He did Ironman, which I would have done if I would have been younger. But now I'm quite happy to be able to do some marathons. This year I did 3 marathons, and next year I think I will also do 3 more marathons. The first one I already booked in February 25th in Moshi in Tanzania. I will participate the Kilimanjaro marathon, and which I did already a few times. I was there 2 times. 2 times I participated, and one more time I wanted to participate, but it was not possible because I hurt my leg a few days before the marathon. I hurt my leg, so I had a little accident when I was training in the night, and so I was not able to participate. But this is one important part of my life, is this running. I do it since many years. Even when I was at school, I began a little to run. I had written something about a boy who changed all his life by becoming sportive. And I did almost all my life I was running, but in the last 20 years I was running more than in the years prior to that. And I think it's a very good way to have a healthy and happy life. I'm always happy to go running because I have the opportunity to at the same time to hear audiobooks, and I hear a lot of audiobooks and podcasts. And the last weeks I heard many podcasts of Esther Perel, the most famous couple therapist in the world. and I'm really fascinated about her way to understand the world. Uh, I would like to ask you, probably you could tell me if you know Esther Perel. I'm really happy to. I know her since many years. I saw, I heard podcasts of her since many years, but in the last weeks, I concentrated much to hear her. Uh, uh, she, uh, I agree very much with her. She speaks about communication in couples. One of my principles of communication in my uh, in my marriage. I'm married since 20 something years, and I'm very happy to have my wife. And the years with my wife were by far the best ways in my life I ever had. We have 4 children together, and I think well, my life would be much less agreeable without being married, without having children. I would really like. I'm not sure why nobody is putting any comments. I would be happy if you would do that. In the last times when I was here, when I was doing my channel in German, there were many questions. Probably you feel uncertain. You can also ask the questions in German if you want. I don't mind. You can also ask them in Spanish. I would understand it. I speak also a little Spanish, so I would be able, if you feel uncertain, to write it in English. And yeah, but I would be happy if you would do that, because of course, if I do it just as a monologue, that is completely different. But I can continue a little about this couple therapy thing. I'm happy to have those crows here. As those people who know me already know that I'm very connected to animals. I think we are interested. Humans are very interesting animals. The human brain seems to be the most sophisticated thing the known universe had produced up to now. The human brain is more complicated than anything, than a city city organization or a railway system and so on. All those things are much less complicated with our 100 transmitters and hormones which coordinate our brain. Yeah, and so that's by the way the reason why I'm very skeptical about medication for psychic things. I'm against antidepressants. I think they are not useful, and I think we know that also. The medical science knows that if people are willing to realize the truth, they would know that antidepressants are not very useful. I'm not totally against. If somebody thinks it helps him a lot, why shouldn't he take it? But I think in general, it does not help. I had so many patients who tried antidepressants, and and some of them were thought that it would help them for some time, but after a longer time they realized that it was not useful for them. And of course, I also know some people who think antidepressants had been a good help for them, but I think it would be better if we would not have this kind of medicaments. On the other side, for example, antipsychotic medicaments like haloperidol, I think they are really important because to have a psychosis is really hard, especially in our world. Probably if we would live in villages where somebody who is psychotic would be somehow safe. under control of the other village people, that would be different. But now we are not living anymore in villages. We are living quite far away from each other in towns. That sounds paradoxical, but it is not. I think in towns, you don't know if your neighbor is still alive. That is completely different in a village where you see everybody from the village every day. So, and in this world, I think antipsychotic medicaments are really important. I would never tell anybody he should try to cope without medicaments. But the most important thing for people who have a psychosis are enough interesting contact to other people, that I must say. And as I told you in my other live events here, and I think for people who have a psychosis, it's really important to not to be lonely, and to have self-help groups are very useful. I met people who had spent a lot of time in hospitals because of schizophrenia, and sometimes I have to look for the horse if it's still there, because this area is not, there's not a fence around it, so he could go out of reach, and it would probably be difficult to catch him again. But I will give him the opportunity to eat some grass on the normal place where they are. The grass is not growing anymore, so he has to eat hay. Oh, yes, Leonie, I'm a physician. Yes, I feel free to answer in English, well, because today I want to make my program in English, because I want to build up an English community also, especially because I want to give my not German-speaking friends a possibility. Yes, Leonid, could you tell me if you can understand me in English also? Otherwise, if you are, wenn du mich auf Englisch nicht verstehst, meistens mache ich es auf Deutsch, aber heute mache ich es mal auf Englisch. But please tell me if you understand me in English. Please just tell me. Of course, I would really like to know if my auditory at the moment is yes. Next time I will do it in German again. But you can put your questions in German. I will answer in English. Probably your English is good enough to understand the answer then. Yeah. But yeah, that's. I would really be interested if the people who are here, they're not so. Yeah, but probably you will understand me nevertheless. My English is a very German English, so it's much easier to understand than if somebody who is native speaker would speak much faster and probably use a much more sophisticated vocabulary. Yes, but normally I do all my things in English, especially my TikTok channel, where I'm much more active than on my YouTube channel. But yeah, that's the reason. Yeah. But tell me, Leonie, what are your? Is there anything you are interested about which I should speak? Problems with the left kidney. What can it be? Probably. Well, Leonie just told me she has problems with her left kidney. That sounds as if her kidney makes some kind of pain. Mund, yeah. 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 Thanks. I can see that now the answers here are in German. The comments are in German, so Probably YouTube has not yet realized that my channel today is in English, but apparently there are some people who nevertheless participate. It's not much. There are not much less people who are there now when I speak English than there are when I speak German. About the kidney, well, kidneys. Of course, if it makes pain, it could be a stone. Kidney stones, some people have kidney stones. The reason is probably because they don't drink enough. The kidney has to transport things out of our body, and urine contains a lot of substances which can clump together and build stones, and that makes a very strong pain. The strongest pain I had in my life was a kidney colic. I was a young man, and I don't know why I had it. I never again had any kidney problems, but in those days I had it, and it was really a extreme pain. After 2 days it was away. I was one day in the hospital for that reason. If you want to have a good kidney, it's important to drink always enough water. Also, well, healthy food is also important. If you eat too much meat that can produce to a certain amount, it can produce kidney problems. And it's good if you move enough, if you do enough sports. It's always important for the kidney, because it avoids to build kidney stones. That's to say two things: enough drinking, enough moving, enough sports, enough running, and things like that is good for the kidneys. And of course, if you sit on cold stones or so, that's not good, because it can easily produce some kind of, you can catch a cold also in your urine bladder, and that could the bacteria which you have in your bladder can ascend to the kidneys, which can make infections. That's about the kidney. Yeah. Okay. So I just wanted to now I will make a little live. I will stop this live for the moment. It was just a trial, and I want to see if when I do that now and then, if there will build up something like an English community, and also people who don't speak German. But I will stop it now. Thanks for being here. Thanks for commenting here, and I will continue in German on my TikTok channel now, because I don't want to mix it at the moment, and I don't have the equipment for two mobiles at the moment here out in the landscape where I'm normally in. So I say goodbye. Have a nice morning, and if you want to continue in German, just come to my TikTok channel.